Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on this channel, and today I'm going to show you the easiest and the simplest method with which you can easily install PARROT Security OS on any Android device. Yes, this method does not require your device to be rooted. So basically, if you do not have a rooted device, then also you can enjoy the security features of the PARROT Security OS. If you are well into the security field, the cybersecurity field, or if you are even learning ethical hacking, then you must be familiar with the security OS such as Kali Linux and the PARROT Security OS, which was recently launched in the previous year. So the Kali Linux does offer you a ton of tools, a ton of security tools which are very useful, but PARROT also offers similar kind of tools with some extra features and a more attractive user interface. You might have used the PARROT OS or the Kali Linux on your laptop devices in virtual machine or in dual boot mode, but it is not possible for us to carry our laptop at every place, or if suddenly we wish to do a penetration testing on some network, suppose we are sitting at a coffee shop and we wish to test the Wi-Fi network or do some ethical hacking over there, then it is not possible to carry our laptop to every place. In that case, if you have the Security OS installed on your device, of your mobile device, then it becomes quite handy to have your portable hacking machine inside your pocket. So after this video, I'm pretty sure you will be able to install the PARROT Security OS inside your any Android device, and you will be able to carry your portable hacking machine with yourself wherever you go. So make sure to watch this video till the end, because I have also covered some of the common mistakes or some common errors which many users encounter during this process, and I have tried to troubleshoot them. So make sure to watch this video till the end, do not skip any part. And if you encounter any kind of errors or if you find any difficulties, then make sure to tell me through the comment section below. But before we get into the video, if you have landed new to this channel, make sure to subscribe to this channel, and if you have already subscribed, then please press the bell icon beside it so that you never miss an awesome tech update from my side. If you like this video, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. If you do not like it, do not dislike please. Instead, tell me wherever I can improve myself through the comment section below. If you find this video helpful, then share this with all your friends and family, and without any further ado, let's quickly get into the process. Okay, so let us quickly start off with the process, and the first thing which you have to do is you have to head on to the Play Store and you download a couple of applications. The first one is the Termux application. Yes, you guessed it right. Let me tell you a quick fact about this Termux application. Many people have a myth, or many people think that this Termux application is a hacking application. Well, it is not a hacking application. It is just a command line interface for your Android device. Let us quickly try to understand how this application works. Well, you all know that Android platform, or the Android operating system, is basically based on the Unix platform, and so is the case with the Linux distributions. So if you are talking about any hacking operating systems such as the Kali Linux or the PARROT OS or the Backtrack 5, or there are tons of hacking operating systems out there, but the best thing is that all of those operating systems are based on the Unix platform. And the fun fact is that even the Mac OS is also based on the Unix platform. So the Unix platform basically drives your Android OS in your device, but the Android OS restricts you to interact only with the graphical user interface which Android provides. But this Termux application makes a direct connection between you and the Unix environment or the Unix platform by bypassing the graphical user interface of Android. In the previous versions of Android, before the Android Lollipop versions, you have to have a rooted phone to use the Termux application, or another application is there which is known as the Terminal Emulator, which also serves the same purpose of which lets you to directly interact with the Unix environment through the command line interface. So now I hope you have got the idea, and what we will be doing with this is that, or how this hacking distribution is going to be installed on an Android device, is that the Termux application will enable you to interact with the Unix platform. And since the hacking operating systems such as the Kali Linux or the PARROT OS and all the other Linux distributions are based upon the Unix platform, so with the help of Termux, we will be configuring all those hacking operating systems. In this video, the PARROT OS will be configured over the Unix platform to run parallelly along with the Android operating system. So we will use this Termux application. You have to install it and then hit open, and you will be brought up to this command line interface which is of the Unix platform running inside your device. So this application is letting you to type commands to interact with the Unix platform with the help of commands. It is not a hacking application. With the help of this application, we will install a hacking operating system, the PARROT OS, onto the Unix platform, which will let us hack into other devices. So now that the Termux application is set up, you have to simply minimize it or close it as you wish. Head on to the Play Store, and another application which you have to download is the Vnc Viewer. Now, one thing guys, since we are already using Android operating system on top of the Unix platform, so whatever other operating system, hacking operating system we install, only the command line interface will be provided to us by default, because the graphical interface is taken or is being consumed by the Android OS. So if we try to remove the Android OS, then our device won't boot up, because this is a mobile device, and a mobile device is configured to interact only using the Android operating system. So you after installing the PARROT OS, first of all you will be getting the command line interface of PARROT OS, but with the help of this Vnc Viewer or the remote desktop, we'll be remotely connecting to that PARROT OS distribution, and by remote connection you will be able to access the graphical user interface, because in that case on using this Vnc Viewer application, we will not be removing the Android OS, and the Android operating system's normal functioning will not be hampered. So you can open this application and just have a look at how the interface looks like, and just click on get started, and that's it. So we'll keep it up till here. Now let us head back to the Play Store and the third application, which is the most important application, and that is AN Linux. This is a simple repository or a simple collection of some important or the required Termux codes, commands. So this application has quite a lot of commands which we can use to install different Linux distributions. So you know, as I have told you that the Termux application is a command line application, you have to interact with the Unix environment with the commands, so it is not possible for us to remember all the commands, and also to install a new operating system, the PARROT OS, on our Unix environment, we have to type a ton of commands. So it is not possible for us to remember all the commands. So for that, this application is there, AN Linux, and in this application you will get lots of commands which will enable you to install the application, install the operating system. So the home page will be greeted with the dashboard section, and here the step 1 says choose the distro you want to install. You can install multiple distro without conflict. So we'll click on choose, and here is a list of distributions which you can install on your Android device. And the best thing is that the whole process does not require any rooted device. Even if your device is not a rooted one, you can simply install any of these penetration testing OS or even normal Linux, that is the Ubuntu or the Debian, without any issue. So I have already made a previous video of how you can install the Kali Linux, so please go ahead and check it out. In this video we'll be installing the PARROT Security OS, so you have to check this OS and click on OK. And after that, this step 2 is activated. Copy the command to clipboard. The command is that pkg install wget. So this is a command which will basically install some of the scripts which are required to install this PARROT operating system through the Termux application. So, and after the installation is done, you can see that you can run /start -parrot.sh to run the command line. So once this command is run, once the installation of the operating system is completed, and once you type this command ./start-parrot.sh, this will boot up your operating system and you will be into the command line interface of the PARROT operating system. And step 3 is that start Termux, paste the entire command to install the distro. Remember, you will need to run ./start-parrot.sh to run the command line. So we'll simply click on copy, and the ad pops up. Once again, let's click on copy, and it is copied. The command is copied on our clipboard. Now we have to head on to Termux, and here long press anywhere and paste it. So as you can see, this whole command is simply copied and pasted inside the Termux application. Once I press the enter button, the package, the distribution of Parrot OS will be downloaded on my device and it will be installed automatically. You just have to sit back and relax. So make sure your device is having a good amount of battery charge, your internet connection is good enough, and most importantly, your internal storage of the device has ample amount of storage space. Recommended is approximately 5 GB of internal storage. Once these checklist is checked, connect to the internet, and also remember that you will be requiring a high-speed internet, or you have to have a good amount of data pack. So let us quickly install it, and this has started installing. So now it will take a lot of time because my internet connection is very slow. So I think I will pause this video, and when the installation is completed, I will get back to you and I will show you the rest of the remaining process, how you can boot up into the operating system, how you can access the graphical user interface, and how you will be using the security tools inside the Parrot Security OS. Okay, so the installation of the distribution of Parrot Security OS is now complete, and it did not take a lot of time. So now let us head on to boot up this operating system and set up the desktop environment of the graphical user interface so that you can easily use the security tools in the Parrot Security OS. So as you can see on this, the last line of the message says you can now launch Parrot Security OS with the command /start parrot.sh script. So what has happened is a distribution of the operating system is made inside a folder inside our local storage. Well, we cannot find it because the Termux has kept that folder hidden, but instead we are by default but the installation is there inside the default working directory of the Termux. So by simply running the script which is present inside the folder, we can boot up the operating system. So let us start it. And as you can see, we are inside the Parrot OS. So if you have seen the videos of Parrot Security OS, or if you have also used the Parrot Security OS in your desktop or your laptop, then you must be knowing this design of the command prompt inside the Parrot OS. So by default you are logged inside the root of the Parrot OS. Now let us just quickly see who am I. So I am the root user inside the Parrot OS, and now we have to head to the next step, that is setting up the desktop environment. You do not have to worry guys, you just have to have that Vnc Viewer application installed in your device, and the rest of the command will be handled by this AN Linux. So we have installed the Parrot OS and we have booted it up. Now you have to open the 3-line hamburger menu from the left side, and as you can see on the third option is the desktop environment. So we'll be clicking on desktop environment, and here it is. The step 1 asks us to choose the distro for which the desktop environment we want to set up. So the Parrot Security OS is the distro. We'll be clicking on OK. Please choose the desktop environment. We will be using the XFCE4 desktop environment, that is by default recommended. And now the command has come up. We have to simply copy this command. Once again it pops up. We have to simply copy this command, and we have to paste it inside the Termux application. Now make sure when you are pasting this command of setting up the desktop environment inside the Termux application, first of all you have to run this command /start parrot.sh so that your Parrot OS is enabled or it has been booted up, and only then you can paste it. If you paste it directly inside Termux, nothing will happen because we will be setting up the desktop environment of the Parrot OS, not the Termux, and Termux also doesn't have any kind of desktop environment. So once we paste this command inside the Parrot OS, after we boot up the Parrot OS, we'll be pressing enter, and this will start setting up. This will install some of the required packages of the XFCE4 environment, and we'll start a VNC connection. Now all these things are happening inside our localhost. By localhost I mean the local network storage, that is our own device. So XFC environment is basically a server which is hosted inside the local system on which the operating system is running. So in this case our phone is the local system. On that desktop server is being initiated, and after that we will be accessing that server with the help of the Vnc Viewer. That desktop environment server we can access with either this phone or with any other device, even a laptop or a different phone also, until and unless all of them are connected to the same network. So let us wait and let this thing install the desktop environment. Okay guys, so as you can see, the installation of the desktop environment in the Parrot OS from inside the Termux application is now complete. Now just before completing the installation, I was prompted to set up a password. If you can see over here, you will require a password to access your desktop. So make sure you set a good memorable password, and this is the password which is very important. Once you set this, you cannot change this password, and only this password will give you access to the environment of the Parrot OS from the Vnc Viewer application. Now in my previous video, many of the users have commented that they are facing an issue while typing the password. So that is because that may be because while typing the password or while verifying the password, you do not remember the actual password set by you, and in the Vnc Viewer application you may be typing a different password, and it cannot be the case that you were not prompted a password. Only if this system encounters an error while setting up the desktop environment or the XFCE4 environment, only then you will get an error message and no password will be set. In that case, just repeat the whole process of setting up the desktop environment. So make sure you remember the password which you set over here. You have to verify the password, retype the same password, and then the desktop environment will be set up. Now one more thing, if at any point you get an error while setting the desktop environment, so do not worry, just shut down the Parrot OS and restart the Parrot OS from the Termux application, and then reinstall the desktop environment. And make sure that the setup of desktop environment takes a lot of time. It is around 1 GB of configuration files being downloaded, so you have a good internet connection, and most importantly you have patience. Now once the desktop environment is set up, once you have successfully verified and set up your first password, and you get this success message that new remote desktop is localhost :1. So now if you just scroll a bit up, at this point you will see a message that the VNC server will be started at 127.0.0.1:5901. Now this is very important. The first part, that is before the colon, it specifies the IP address where the VNC server is hosted. That is your Parrot OS is running at which IP address. In this case our Parrot OS is running on this device itself. That is why we are getting the localhost address, that is 127.0.0.1, and after the colon is the port number. You have to remember this port number. It is very important for the Vnc Viewer application to know the exact port number to which it shall be contacting to start the desktop environment. So we have noted it down. Now we have to just head on to our Vnc Viewer application. Now as you can see, on the home page you will be greeted with this blank screen. On the bottom right corner you'll get a plus symbol. Tap on that, and here we have to type the exact IP address and the port number which we have just seen in the Termux application. So in our case it's localhost, so 127.0.0.1, and then put a colon, and then put the port number which we have seen there. So if you just verify it, our port number is 5901. 5901, and our name of the computer is Parrot OS. Okay, now we can click on create, and a new desktop has been created. We just have to click on connect, and this message will pop up. Do not worry, it is just a warning message. Click on OK and you will be asked to type the password. Now please do not forget the password which you have set in the previous screen. In my case, I had set up 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. Okay, and after that simply click on continue, and once you click on continue you will be brought up to the desktop of your Parrot Security OS. Now just before I had started this Parrot OS to check whether it is working or not. So when you first boot up your desktop environment, you will be greeted with a message and you'll be given two options: to set up default config or to set a blank environment. So make sure you click on set up default config. I just missed that out because I was just testing whether the Parrot OS is actually running or not on my device. So do not worry, you will be getting a pop-up message, and on that you will get an option of setting up default config. Make sure you click on set up default config. So this command will check for any updates in the packages available for your particular distribution. So okay, as you can see, it has found no updates, so my package is already updated. For the surety, just let us run one more command: apt-get upgrade. You have to run these two commands almost every week so that you are not lagging behind of any important updates. So it will just check for some of the packages, and if there are updates available, it will download it. It should not take a lot of time, so just be patient. Also, in my previous video, some of the viewers have commented that while connecting to the desktop environment through the Vnc Viewer application, when they put in their IP address, that is the localhost address 127.0.0.1, and also the port number, they are getting this error message which says cannot connect to the computer on the specified port. So that error message is just because you have entered the wrong port number or the wrong IP address, or the format of the port number and IP address is wrong in your case. So make sure you note down the IP address and the port number which is shown. In all of the cases, the IP address will be the same, that is 127.0.0.1, but in the port number may be different in your case. By default, I have till now I have not seen any different port numbers. So make sure you type in the correct port number, and the format should be your IP address. After that, no space, only a single colon, and again no space, and the port number. Many of the users might be putting a double colon, that's why the issue is showing up. But make sure you put a single colon and the port number, that is 5901. If you do not remember the port number, just try putting the port number as 5901. If also it doesn't work, then put in just 1, the port number as 1 colon and then 1. It should work, and even if it doesn't work, just reinstall the desktop environment, and again you will find the message of your IP address and the port number. So as you can see, the process has been finished, but we encountered an error, so we have to fix it for the normal and the proper functioning of the Parrot OS. So the command to fix it goes apt-get space purge, then space the error message. So the error message says that we are encountering errors in udisks2 partition. So we have to just type in udisks2 and press enter. So it will try to fix up whatever errors we are encountering. Yes, we want to continue. Okay, so we are done right now. Now let us just clear our terminal, and now we will be installing the necessary penetration testing tools. All the tools are most of the important and mostly used tools are clubbed under the Metasploit framework. So if by default we try to fire up the Metasploit framework by typing the command msf console, you will see that command not found because msf console or the Metasploit framework is not yet installed. Let us quickly install it. apt-get space install space metasploit framework. This command should install all the necessary tools in the Metasploit framework. Just press the enter button and it will start installing. If you are having an issue viewing the Vnc Viewer desktop, then you can also change the resolution of the desktop from the Termux application. Once you boot up your PARROT OS, just Google around how to change the resolution of XFCE4 and you will get the commands over there. In my case, most of the time you should be comfortable with it because changing the resolution might hamper your normal functioning of your keyboard and mouse, so better keep it in the default settings. This should take a little bit of time to install all the tools. Many of my viewers have commented that in the previous video of Kali Linux through Termux, they have commented that they are not able to use the internet through the Kali Linux application in the Vnc Viewer application. So no internet is properly configured. To check if your internet is working or not, just open the terminal and ping to google.com. You should be getting responses. The browser may not be working in that particular distribution. That may be an issue in your device only, because it is an issue because this operating system which we are installing through the through the Termux application is the base version of the operating system. It is the very light version, so that is why some packages might not work properly. So do not worry, you can install a third-party browser such as the Chrome or the Firefox. Just Google around and get the GitHub repository of the browser and onto your desktop, and you can then access the internet. So in this case, my internet is perfectly working. Only then it is able to Metasploit framework and install successfully. After the installation of the Metasploit framework is complete, you will see a success message, and after that just type in msf console to fire up the Metasploit framework console, and this should start the msf console. You should be able to access all the different pre-built payloads. You can create your own payload and a ton of lot of extra security tools. As you can see, the Metasploit framework has loaded up and it is the latest version, that is the version 5.4.14, and after this you can browse around inside the Metasploit framework to see what are the available payloads. Just type in help to get a list of all the commands which you can use in the Metasploit. You can Google around various steps to use the Metasploit framework to create your own payload and start your penetration testing on your portable hacking device at any location. So thank you guys. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you liked this video, and if you did like it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you did not like it, please do not dislike it. Instead, suggest me your suggestions, which are the areas in which I can improve my videos, in the comment section below. If you find this video helpful, share this with all your friends and family, and see you in my next video with a brand new trick. Till then, happy hacking and goodbye.